West Fargo is sticking with mask optional in their schools for the start of this school year anyway.
Parents packed the school board meeting last night and gave impassioned input from both sides of the issue.
And if we look around this room, most of us aren't, and that's okay. And those that are, that's okay too. We just want the freedom of choice and realizing if you put a mask mandate, when some of us in this room aren't even doing it, we're putting our kids at a level where they have less choice than we do.
I can say with all insurance that all of us want the kids to be in school. Mask, anti-mask, I think we can all agree that we want our kids in school. But to do that, we need to be proactive with our safety measures instead of reactive.
The board did vote on new thresholds that could result in mandatory masks or distance learning in the future. Those include multiple students testing positive in classrooms that are connected to each other, or a certain percentage of students in a school contracting the virus.
The decision to move to distance learning temporarily could be limited to individual classrooms as well. One child is being treated for serious injuries after being hit by a car while riding a bike in West Fargo.
It happened just before 5:30 last night. Police say the victim was on a motorized bicycle trying to cross veterans without a protected signal when they were hit. Officers say the driver was obeying all traffic laws at the time of the incident and was not ticketed. New this morning, authorities in Clearwater County, Minnesota have their hands full with pipeline protesters who filled a road with junk and tied themselves to it. Authorities say this past Tuesday they went to 470th Street and found it blocked with a boat, barrels filled with concrete, a flipped car, and people sitting tied together.
After telling the people to leave, deputies ended up arresting 23 of them at the scene. Getting everyone unconnected and in the squad cars took the department 7 hours. Then they had to clean up the mess. The people arrested are from across the country, some from Maine, Illinois, Texas, and South Dakota. They're all in several different jails on public nuisance and obstructing the legal process charges.
It's now 10 minutes before 7 on our chilly start to our Thursday morning. Lisa, I hope we warm up a little bit from here.
We do have some warmer weather in store for us, but until then, you're going to want the sweatshirt, the jacket here this morning because temperatures have dipped into the 40s for just about everybody. It's a pretty start in a lot of spots. This is in Grand Forks. Our view there showing some of that light pink sunrise reflecting off the clouds there. And we will continue to see more sunshine for today in a lot of places, but still some clouds drifting through in others. Here's a look at our area conditions. We have some temperatures again in the 40s, 46 in Fargo and in Grand Forks. Jamestown at 45. The sun is up in Bemidji. We're at 45 there. And in Fergus Falls checking in at 50 degrees. We're at 54 in Devil's Lake. So a couple of spots still making their way into the 50s here, but it's a chilly start compared to where we've been. This time last year, by the way, we were freezing in Fargo, so it's still at least warmer than that. Here's a look at our visibility. We are seeing our visibility dropping in places like Roseau and Thief River Falls. We're less than a mile in those spots. There's some patchy fog in the region, so that's some of our reporting sites, but there's a lot of space in between each of these, so there could be some more places where we've got some patchy fog to start today. That should lift now that the sun is coming up and will be heating up here today in the next couple of hours. Radar and satellite map looking quite quiet here. Here's a look at that. You can see there is some cloud cover making its way through. It's very faint here, but it's in that northwestern corner of Minnesota along that Highway 75, Highway 59 corridor, and then kind of drifting a little eastward as it's moving through here this morning. Beyond that, a lot of us getting to enjoy a nice sunny start to the day. So here's our bus stop forecast. This morning, temperatures 40s to about 50 as we're heading into school. We're looking at a lot of sun across the region and very light wind, which has been calm all morning long. This afternoon, the wind really doesn't become a problem. Yesterday, the day before, we had that wind pick up. Today, it should be on the quiet side, and we just get to enjoy a nice, mostly sunny day in Fargo, a high of 76. Keep in mind, if you're north and east over into northwest Minnesota, that's where you're more likely to have some clouds into the afternoon hours today. So not bad, but really warming up for Friday. Just be aware that there's going to be some wind with that too. Highs into the 80s and then cooling right back down as we head into the weekend. So some give and take here as we're making that seasonal transition.
Okay. Well, you get 70s. I get one warm day tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we're heading, we're on that downward trend. You know, we're heading into September, so that's how it's going to go. But Lisa, thank you.
President Joe Biden is expected to unveil a new pandemic strategy today. The White House says the changes are aimed at limiting the spread of the Delta variant while increasing vaccination rates.
The announcement comes amid a spike in pediatric COVID-19 infections and hospitalizations. More than 250,000 child cases were reported last week. A Moorhead family is counting their blessings after coming out uninjured after a driver in an SUV lost control and smashed into the front of their home.
It happened Tuesday night at 405 Oakway, which is just across the street from Moorhead High School. Take a look at that. The parents say their 3 young children were actually inside the room that the SUV crashed into. But despite some tears, they say everyone is okay.
A house is temporary. Things like this can get fixed. It's an inconvenience for sure, but to me, the safety of the people around you is by far more important than something like this.
A 41-year-old Moorhead woman was ticketed for reckless driving. Some flood buyout homes, they're on the move today, and it could mess with your morning drive. Here's where to watch for them. A house on 19th Avenue North will be moved starting at 7 this morning from 19th to University, then to County Road 20 north of the airport. It will then head west from there.
Now, once that house is moved, 2 others will be moved along that same route. Traffic impacts are expected to be over by 10 a.m. And here's a traffic alert for 17th Avenue South in Fargo. Starting today, that stretch will be reduced to 1 lane in each direction between 38th and 42nd Streets.
They're doing underground utilities there. The closures should last for about 10 days. It's been nearly 4 months since Gigi's Playhouse was destroyed by fire. It was later ruled an arson. But the exciting news is that fall programming is now underway again.
Now, usually they would have 22 programs going each season, but they are limited right now. They're starting the fall season with 7 programs. They've been able to provide for all of their demographics, however, toddlers, teens to adults participating in fitness, educational, and enrichment opportunities.
The board president tells us their temporary location has been perfect and they couldn't ask for anything better while they rebuild.
It's huge, which is nice. I mean, it's one big open space, so it allows us to really completely flex how we need it, which is important right now.
Nearly 200 families have been affected. If you would like to help them rebuild the Playhouse, head to gigisplayhouse.org/Fargo. Fargo police have arrested a person who they say fired shots early Sunday morning in downtown Fargo for no particular reason. 24-year-old Alexis Arazaza is in jail for terrorizing and felony reckless endangerment. Police sent out an emergency alert at 2 in the morning on Sunday, telling people to avoid the area of First Avenue North and Broadway North and to shelter in place. After reviewing footage and talking to witnesses, detectives now say the man was not targeting anyone, but was acting out of reckless disregard. 2 men are in jail after police say they caught them going through homes under construction in South Fargo. An officer on patrol early yesterday morning near 28th Street and 72nd Avenue South spotted someone with a flashlight inside a home under construction. The officer watched as 2 people left that house and entered another across the street. Police set up a perimeter and caught one suspect running away in a field and another a short time later. Alexander Groover and Justin Keller, both of Moorhead, were arrested for criminal trespass.
The Fargo Fire Department is looking for a few good men and women to join their ranks. No previous firefighting experience is needed, and they'll provide you with everything you need to know. First, you apply and you have to pass a written test. The top 15 move on to an agility test. If you pass that, the interview is next. Applicants who are offered a job will then go through the 10-week Fire Academy and a 4-week program to get EMT certified. If you're interested, you can learn more this Saturday at 1 p.m. or next Thursday at 7 p.m. That's where they'll explain the application process and give a station tour. Children with disabilities often can't enjoy public playgrounds. That's because they're not handicap accessible.
But one group in Moorhead is hoping to change that, but they need your help. The Valley Today's Brian Sherrod joins us live this morning with more. Good morning, Brian.
Jordan and Lisa, that's exactly right. You know, it's not handicap accessible, as in they need places for the wheelchairs to be able to go over it, or ramps to be able to work with anyone that has those disabilities. And right here at Gooseberry Park is where they're actually going to have the picnic, but the inclusive playground is going to be in a different location. Now, when it comes to this inclusive playground project, it's expected to cost $1 million, and so far they've raised a little over $100,000. Now, the prime location is Miracle Field, and a viewer was actually telling me this morning that the closest inclusive park is in the Boundless Playground, and that's located in Grand Forks. Now again, the playground would provide wheelchair access and ramps for starters.
You'll see it's kind of meant for those kids with special needs, but it's going to be a place for everyone, and it'll help them develop. It will help keep them safe, and it'll be a space that the community can really come together.
So the event will be this afternoon from 4 to 8 here at Gooseberry Park. There'll be bounce houses, face paintings, a silent auction, dinner, and a DJ. Everything I just mentioned is free and can be found at valleynewslive.com. Jordan, Lisa, back to you.
Brian Sherrod reporting live for us this morning. Thank you.
Greater Moorhead Days, they kick off today. We get started with things at Gooseberry Park, where Brian was talking about. Then it's the downtown parade tomorrow at 6.
On Saturday, there are canoe and kayak rentals, and on Sunday, an urban wilderness paddling excursion. You can check out the full schedule of events at greatermoorheaddays.com. Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Here's today's question. A survey found that 65% of married women do not trust their husbands to do this.
The answer, work on their car. I'm sure that's just one of a laundry list of things, and by that I quite literally mean the laundry that they don't trust their husbands to get done as well either.
Good point.
Yeah.
Remember, you can play along every weekday morning. Just head to our Valley News Live Facebook page. That's where we post the question. The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start. But remember, the Valley Today rolls on. You can join us right now for more live, up-to-the-minute news and weather on the Fargo CW. Have a great day, everyone.